Recently I saw a Facebook post about a simple chart, or should I say table, just showing how much money can be made on Amazon. And while I like these, I think they are quite informative to a certain extent. They can be slightly misleading. We say that there's a lot more information that you need to take into consideration about when the money and when you run an Amazon business model. So today what I want to do is I want to recreate that table, and also as well I want to add some extra information into it, just which is going to inform and educate people who are maybe thinking about running an Amazon business, scaling an Amazon business, or looking to go bigger, and just add my thoughts into that. So perhaps you can get an informed education, a informed decision, or informed information about running an Amazon business. Now, if you don't know about me, my name is Thomas Parkinson, and I run the Amazon UK arbitrage lead service, FastTrackFBA, where we provide leads to all our customers and we show them every single lead, but they pick and choose the ones that they want in a very unique platform. So if you're interested, you can certainly have a look down below and we'll have a link to that. And you can even create a free account if it's something you're interested in looking at. But also as well, I've been selling on Amazon now for 3 years, and I've been doing 6 figures every single year that I've been on Amazon. And while I'm not here to tell you that I'm an expert, I certainly like to think that maybe I've learned a few things, and certainly learned a lot of things not to do, that I like to share back with the community, because obviously when I started a lot of this wasn't available, but also a lot of people have shared that with me during the time, and it's a good opportunity for me to share back. So if you like this kind of content and it's something that is interest, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I love a good thumbs up. It just lets me know that you like the content, and obviously I can do more of it. But if it's something that maybe you've got questions or you want to just add your thoughts on, be sure to give me a comment down below. I really like that. That's very useful for me. And just, it's good to talk and interact. And I love to hear that as well. And hey, I'm doing loads of these videos all the time, talking about what I'm seeing in the Amazon world, changes, what's going on, even sourcing methodology and learning. Be sure to click the subscribe button down here, and what's going to happen is you're going to get notified the moment new videos come live, and hopefully this is going to help and improve your Amazon business to help grow your learning, growing your sourcing, growing everything about what you're doing with Amazon. But hey, let's get started. Right, so this is a slightly cut down version, or a slightly extended version actually, of the graph that I saw, or the table that I saw. And what I really liked about it was it's really simple. It just said, look, if I have X number of sales, sales per week, i.e. I'm looking at just one product sales per week, and I have how many products in stock, i.e. I've got 50 in stock, or 100 in stock, or 200 in stock, 300 in stock, all the way up to 700, and each product makes me £5 profit, then wow, I'm going to make £250 worth of profit. Fantastic. I like £250 worth of profit, but you know what? I like £500 worth of profit. I like 1,000. I like 1,500. I like 3,500. If I get £3,500 worth of profit every week, I am loving it. And you know what? Yes, it's simple. Get 700 products that are selling once per week, and they're going to make you £5 profit per time, and you are going to be making £3,500 worth of profit every single week. Like, that sounds amazing. Why am I not doing it sooner? So, yes, that is possible, and I'm not going to deny that. But what I want to do is say, there's a bit more information you should probably know beforehand when you're doing your Amazon business, which is going to help educate you in this. So, I put an extra couple of columns in here, and what I'm going to do is just talk through them all now, and maybe give you my thoughts on what I've learned in my Amazon world. So while we're looking at profit per week, the thing I really want to kind of get to is, number one is how much revenue do you need to do to generate that profit? But then not only revenue, how much cash do you need to invest in your Amazon business to allow you to generate that amount of revenue, which in turn will allow you to generate that amount of profit? Now, what I'll do is I'll just talk through all these and explain what I'm doing, and I'll share a link to this spreadsheet with you below, so you can load it up and obviously make a copy if you want, and then you can have a play as well. Maybe you're thinking about starting Amazon or just want something to play with. So look, a lot of the time when you're starting out, revenue figures, ROI figures, which is called return on the investment. Now, for every £1 I invest, i.e. I buy stock, how much am I going to get back when that sells? So generally speaking, you're probably going to invest £1 and you might get like £1.30 back. So that'd be a 30% ROI. So what I'm going to do in here is just jot in 30%, and I'm going to drag that all the way down. Now 30% is a good target to aim for. If you're below the VAT threshold in a new starter, you probably want to have 30% as a minimum. but if you're a big seller and you're selling a lot, 30% you're going to be really happy with. You'll probably be looking a bit lower than that as well. So 30% ROI you're going to be quite happy with. Now, for you is to understand, to get £250 worth of profit in 1 week, and you're working on a 30% ROI, how much stock do I need to purchase to make that amount of profit? So this is quite simple. This is really simple. This is just 250 divided by the ROI we're looking at. So that means if I would buy £833 worth of stock this week, ship it into Amazon, and it all sold at 30% exactly, or averaged out at 30%, I would make £250. Nice and simple. And let's just drag that down. So £830 worth of stock, buy that much, sell it at 30% ROI, and I make £250. Now, the one thing which I will just say about the ROI is that is the ROI after taking into account things like Amazon fees, FBA fees, maybe prep costs included in that. This is the money you get after buying that stock and shipping it into Amazon. So we're saying profit you're talking about there. It's like fantastic. Now, the next one to talk about is revenue. So if you're going to be buying £833 worth of stock every week, it's always good to know how much sales do I need to make. And as a rough rule of thumb, what you might be getting is like a 2-to-1 ratio. So for every £1 I spend on Amazon or buying stock, I'm going to sell it for £2, of which I'm going to get, I've got £1 difference, of which 30p of it is coming back to me, and then the other, the other 70p is going towards costs, etc., etc. So what we generally say is, as a general rule of thumb, you might do a revenue which would be double your cost of goods. So I'm just going to put in there, revenue equals 2 times cost of goods. So what we can see here straight away is, for me to have 50 products on sale, making £5 profit each, I'm going to be looking to make £250 profit per week. Fantastic. If I'm working on a 30% ROI, I'm going to need to buy £830 worth of stock. And then on top of that is to say I'm going to be looking at getting £1,667 worth of sales every week. And that, if I sell £1,667 worth of stock every week, that is going to give me £250 profit. Fantastic. I really like that. The thing which I'll just kind of add is, if you're in the UK, or if you're not and you think about maybe trading in the UK or EU, we have the wonderful thing called VAT. Now, while it does change over the EU, in the UK at the moment it's 85,000, but do check that. But to give you an idea, if you are selling 33 or 3,333 every week, 3,333 times by 52 weeks in the year, you're going to be way over that. That's going to push you way over that £85,000 threshold. But if you're going to be doing this one times by 52, you're literally just going over it. So with all of these, they're going to have VAT on as well. So you've got to account for that, which does take a hit into your business. So a lot of people say that it's going to be about an 8% drop in your profitability. That's just a general rule of thumb, not expert. Do speak to an accountant if you want to check that. So once we've talked about how much, number of products we're looking to do, profit per sale, profit per week, the ROI, the cost of goods, and the revenue, the next thing to think about is, I've just spent £833 on stock. Now, I don't spend £833 today, ship it into Amazon, it lands on Monday next week, and then by Sunday next week it's all sold and I get the money back the following week. It doesn't work like that. What we have is what's known as lead time. So this is basically the time it takes from the moment you've spent £1, not landing in Amazon, but spent £1. So if you spend £1 today with your supplier, how long do you get that money back in your Amazon account? Now, if I just talk you through, if I go buy, say, some Lego from Argos today, it might take next day's delivery into Amazon or into my warehouse or my home. It then might take another day or two for me to prep it, ship it, and consolidate, have enough items, put them in a box, and get it into UPS. It then might take 3 days to get into Amazon. It's really cheap, but it's not the fastest. Sometimes it is. And then it might take another 2 to 3 days for Amazon to actually get that box, unpack it, scan it, put it into Amazon's warehouses, and then for that to be in the right place and then live on Amazon's website to sell. So that might say we might be looking at a week there. Now, interesting enough, it might be that I'm buying enough stock to last a month, 2 months, 3 months, or it might be longer than that. Now, and then once I've sold that stock, what happens is Amazon take that money and then they will hold on to that money for 2 weeks. The reason is if anyone wants to return an item, then Amazon will take it out of those withheld funds. So for every pound that I've sold today, I have to wait 2 weeks to get back, and then I can then claim that and Amazon will give it back to me. So if I give you an idea, in my business, and we're doing 6 figures a year, we work on about an 8-week lead time. So from sourcing the moment I spend it to the moment I sell it. We have some quite delays at the front end, but we pretty much get everything sold within a week or within a month, and we're not holding much after a month. So for us, we're a very, very quick turnover. I know a lot of sellers will be anything up to like 3 months in Amazon alone, so they can be looking at a lead time of 5, maybe 6 months from their spending a pound to getting it back. So just be aware of that. Mine is 2 months. They can be anywhere up to 6 months. So I'm going to put in here, lead time is 8 weeks. So what we're looking at here is, for me, and I'll put this in my business, is to say, if I'm looking at this lead time calculation, I'm saying that every week I'm going to be spending £833, of which I'm then going to be making 30% back. Fantastic, I love that. But I need to consider that I'm going to be getting it every 8 weeks in 8 weeks' time. So I need to be holding what's known as 8 weeks worth of stock at any one time to make sure that my profit per week is consistent. Because obviously if I dump it all in 1 week and then don't keep topping up and it takes 8 weeks for the money to come back, it's not going to be consistent. It's going to be very up and down. Like I might have the first week, yeah, got loads of money, and then I have to wait a while, and then the next 9th week I'll get loads of money again. Just got to understand how that lead time works. So if you, whenever you're thinking about your lead time, think about how much you're spending on cost of goods per week, times it by your lead time, and then this is what we called our stock holding. This might not all be in stock, it could be in cash as well, but basically it means how much cash have you got tied up in stock and withheld funds within Amazon during your Amazon business to make the money that you want to make. And for us, we'll do the calculation quite now. It's to say lead time multiplied by cost per goods per week, and that gives you a lovely figure to tell you how much you want, or how much you need to have in cash available or credit to service the goods that you're buying. So when we look at this, we say here, look, really simple. I'm going to have 50 products, selling 1 product per week, and each product is going to make me £5 profit. I'm going to make £250 worth of profit. Fantastic. I like £250 worth of profit. That's roughly £1,000 a month, a little bit more, but I like £1,000 a month. I can deal with that. If I'm going to work on a 30% ROI, that means I need to be buying £830 worth of stock every single week at looking to achieve a 30% ROI. And then finally, my revenue per week needs to be looking, or I'm going to be estimating that I'm going to be doing about £1,667 per week on average. And if I'm working on an 8-week lead time, that means that I'm going to be needing roughly £6,667 worth of cash that's going to be tied up within my Amazon business to help me generate that £250 per month. Now, obviously, that is a very rough estimation to look at, and it's a good guide for you to just get a feeling. And the bigger reason I look at this graph or talk about or this table is the fact that when we look at only this information down here, we say this is great, like not a problem, and that looks really enticing. But what we don't realise is that, hey, I could do quite happily with £1,000 a month. I like £1,000 a month. I'm very happy with that. But what I don't realise is that to make £1,000 a month at 30% ROI and 8-week lead time, I need to have £26,000 worth of stock holding. And you know what? £26,000 worth of stock holding is quite a lot of cash, and a lot of people don't have £26,000 worth of stock. So that's quite interesting to know. Now, the one thing for you is also just to consider, and I'll add this on the end, is to say, look, the numbers we are talking about right now are what's known as gross profit figures. And if I gross profit figures. So these are the figures that you're going to be making predominantly based around buy a product, you sell it, and it's going to be minus Amazon fees, FBA fees, shipment costs, maybe packing, maybe even like VAT as well. That's all taken into account. But odds on, it probably won't take into things like sourcing costs, labor costs. If you've got any other costs that do, like maybe email costs, telephone, if you've got a van, you need to go get the stock. If you're doing RA, sourcing software, sourcing tools, accounting software. If you're going to hire bookkeepers, if you're going to hire an accountant, you're going to need a lot of extra things. So there are additional costs involved in running an Amazon business, and it's always good just to get an informed decision about that. But if you're looking at top line revenue, and the reason why I quite like looking at this kind of table is the fact that you can see roughly, as a very rough estimation, if I want to make X amount gross profit per week, how much do I need in stock holding cash how much do I need in stock holding to allow me to facilitate that movement of stock? So what I'll do is I will share this down below, and obviously you can have a play with it if you want, and this will hopefully just give you a bit more an informed decision about maybe starting an Amazon business and the numbers and the way it works. If you like this content, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I really like that. That just lets me know. And obviously drop any comments down below. Maybe there's something I didn't explain or didn't understand. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this kind of information, be sure to drop me click the subscribe button, because you're going to see that subscribe, and that's going to be really useful for you getting more information as I record it and as I release it. And then finally, if there's anything else, be sure to join the FastTrackFBA Facebook group, and you can ask questions and obviously get involved in the conversation. But from me, Thomas Parkinson at FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.